how to write killer emails that actually keeps your readers hooked and engaged till the end, so that you can also sell them your offer and double your sales and stuff like that, right? So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly that by giving you 4 steps. I don't want to go so deep into this. I'm just going to give you the steps. Okay, it's not about open rates. It's not about having the best subject line. It's not about the CTA. It's not about your email copy and stuff like that. No, because that's what everyone else is talking about. And in today's video, I want to break down exactly why that is just the basics level of what your email should be. Okay, so stick with me till the end, because you're going to understand exactly everything. So here's the thing. Okay, I do not like to use script and stuff like that, but here's the thing. Okay, there's only one psychological hack, just one. Okay, um that can help you get your readers hooked. Okay, and like, let me be clear. Okay, this psychological hack is the foundation of expectations versus reality. Now, if you don't know what expectations is, what someone expects, right? It's like, what are people thinking, that is, what are people thinking that's going to happen, and reality is like the outcome. Okay, it's what actually happens, right? So the thing that in email that makes people like really get hooked is that if the outcome, or if what you deliver in your email is better than what they expected, is that your reader will be happy and they will keep engaging and you'll get more sales. But if what they expected is less than what you gave them, what you delivered in the email, then they're going to be disappointed. Some delete, even worse, some they unsubscribe from your list. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, it's all about subject lines, and what I'm going to tell you here is that in your subject line you have to set an expectation. Okay, always set an expectation in your subject line. Right now, how do you set an expectation? Be clear on what you have for them, right? What is in it for them. Now, I don't mean like give it all out in the subject line, but what I mean is that you have to give them something. Give them a clear promise on what they're going to get on the email, or give them something that they're going to benefit from opening the email and reading the whole email, right? So that's how you create the expectation of your readers, right? That's why most of the time when you use clickbaity subject lines, what ends up happening is that your readers become disappointed, and what ends up happening is that they don't engage with the emails, and then afterwards they even unsubscribe, right? Because you clicked baited, like you baited them on opening the email, and then in the email you did not deliver what they actually expected. You get me, right? So the thing here is that in your subject line, in your preview text, all these two things, the subject line and the preview text, all these two things have to do one thing. Okay, to get your reader very curious on opening the email. Right now, for the email, I want you to sit down before you write. Okay, outline maybe 4 or 5 or 3, or maybe one, what you're going to deliver in the email. And you have to make sure that that point that you're going to deliver in the email, it has to supersede, it has to be more than what you created as the expectation in the subject line and in the preview text, right? So the hook comes after, the body copy comes after, the closing and the call to action comes after. But you have to be clear on what you're going to deliver in the email. After you be clear on what you're going to deliver in the email, then you're going to go on the hook, and then the body copy, and then the closing or CTA. Now let's go down to what you're going to deliver. Now, what actually matters, okay, on what you're going to deliver is the what, the why, and the how, right? So what what is exactly you're going to deliver. Why does it matter? Why should they stay around, so that they um why should they stay around and listen to you, right? Why? And then how? Okay, how does that thing that they're going to get, how does it fit the overall puzzle of the email, right? Or how does it help them? Just simply like that. Okay, if you don't have any unique point in the outline, I would prefer, if it was me, I would prefer not moving forward, because even if you send the email, it's not gonna convert, and people are not going to read it, like actually all of it. Because what you set as expectation on the subject line is not what you're going to deliver in the email. Okay, so you have to set your expectation right and get what you're going to deliver in the email right. Okay, so that's the thing. Now the hook. Now in the hook, you can do anything. You can just challenge their beliefs. You can challenge their common belief, as I said. Okay, you can contradict whatever they know, right? You can just come from a contradiction point, like you agree with them, and then change the topic. Like for example, right? What is an example? I wrote an example right here. Okay, but the truth is that blah 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 blah. Like for example, let's say most people think that email marketing is about sending as many emails as possible and hoping something sticks. But the truth is that it's not about quantity, it's about psychology. Do you see how I changed the perspective? That's the difference of contrarian take, right? So things like that, you can also use proof and plan to hook your readers in, right? To establish something and then hook just your reader in. And then after that, in the body copy, what you're going to do when you're going to deliver exactly the points that you're going to deliver. If you have four, five, six, or three, or maybe two of them, right? If you're going to deliver them in the body copy, you're going to use the 2-1-3-4 method. Now, the 2-1-3-4 method, what happens in this method is that you don't give them exactly the best solution and then go to the least best solution. But what you do is that you give them your second best solution and then go to your best solution. Why am I saying this? It's because when you give them your second best solution and they read through the second best solution and then go to the first best solution, what ends up happening is that they see, okay, if the first point was a little bit better, and the first point, which is the second bullet point that you maybe delivered to them, was better than the first one that he gave me, then what happens if I read all this email? What happens if I know all these steps? What happens if I know all these hacks? Okay, that will make them hooked and read your emails till the end. That's exactly what I call the 2-1-3-4 method, right? It's as simple as that, right? So don't confuse it, don't challenge it and start saying, okay, there's like blah blah blah. No, it's exactly like this. Point one, start with your second best point, and then go with your first best point, and which one is your best point, and then go to your third, and then go like descending order with the remaining points. It's like it's just that simple. Okay. Okay, so let's say we have hooked them in, you have delivered incredible results, and they're still reading it. Now, what comes after is the closing, right? So in the call to action, right, which is the closing, which I like to call the fortune cookie, what ends up happening here is that we have to beat the we have delivered results already, so we have to beat the expectations, okay, that we already delivered for them, right? So they expected something, we delivered it, we have to beat the delivered part for the expectations. What I mean by that is like it's like when you go to a restaurant, right? You go to a restaurant, you eat, and then after you eat, when they bring you the check, they give you a free chocolate. Why do they do that? They do that on purpose, in fact. Okay, so why do they do that? Because they're trying to remind you of the good service that they invested in the whole previous 2 hours. It's the same psychology that works here. Okay, you want to do this at the very end of the email that you're writing, or the newsletter, or the emails that you're going to do, because you want to leave the reader with a lasting impression of, wow, that was amazing, right? So if you do all this, it's going to give you a very good advantage over getting more clicks on your offers and stuff like that, right? So there's only two methods that you can do here. Okay, let's like rewind. Okay, open a loop with a pain point using your subject line and stuff like that, giving them a clear promise or a clear benefit that they are going to get. And then after that is delivering the value, or delivering exactly what they were expected or what you set as an expectation. And then after that, you pitch them with your offering, something like that, right? So that was it. That was the complete framework. I tried to digest it down and so that you guys can understand, right? So that was it, step by step framework on how to write killer emails or newsletters that keep your readers hooked the entire time. So that's it. Hope you find value from this. Peace.